Today we're going to discuss 10 factors that may cause breakage in the crown of your hair and some solutions, so let's get into today's video. Hello my happy nappy crew, it's Now I Am Nappy here, and y'all, crown breakage is such a common experience, especially for Black women. So I want to get into some of those causes and some solutions, so let's get into it. Alright, so first and foremost, you guys, if you ever are experiencing any type of alopecia or sudden hair loss, please go to your doctor to find out what's going on. I do recommend your regular MD and your regular dermatologist to find if there's any internal or external factors that are causing or triggering this type of hair loss. Now, one of the first factors I want to talk about that kind of tie along with this is vitamin deficiencies. Now, vitamin deficiencies in particular, especially that biotin, that vitamin D, and those iron deficiency can cause severe hair loss, severe breakage, severe itching, severe soreness in that crown area of the hair. And so it's important to get that blood test to figure out what's going on. I would say a lot of women, especially Black women, are deficient in those key nutrients and vitamins. And so we do typically experience some type of crown hair loss at some point or another. So many of you guys know that I actually had suffered from severe anemia and had severe hair loss in the crown section of my hair, leading to that CCCA. So check out that video that I have right here on the screen. And y'all, when I got my iron levels and my iron stores finally up and thriving, my hair began to flourish. So one of the important factors is not only acknowledging the vitamin deficiency, but really working and striving to get those vitamins and nutrients up and maintain them over time. This is the iron supplement I'm currently taking that has my hair flourishing. Along with vitamin deficiency, there's also hormone imbalances, and these hormone imbalances such as pregnancy, menopause, or certain medical conditions that can affect the strength and even texture of the hair. And especially in the crown area, you will generally find if your crown area is thinning and breaking, the texture tends to be a little bit different, or the porosity may be a little bit different than how your hair currently is. Again, if you're dealing with these type of imbalances, it's important to speak with your doctor to help get your hormone levels back to a regulated level so that your hair can begin flourishing once again. Another factor that can cause that crown breakage is stress. High levels of stress impact the health of your hair. I'm not only just talking about in the crown area, but all over. You can experience extreme shedding, especially from a stressful event. A lot of people are telling me that after they had COVID, they had severe hair loss and severe issues with their hair, or the texture seems to be changing. So we really want to manage your stress levels. You want to do things like meditation. You want to do things to help lower stress. You want to look at adaptogenic herbs such as ashwagandha, tulsi, and turmeric to help reduce that stress and inflammation in the body first that is also negatively impacting the hair. Once you get your stress levels back, you can work on other factors such as herbal oils and scalp massages to help bring that life back to that crown area of the hair. Another factor that can cause breakage in the crown area is actually due to excessive heat styling. Frequent use of hot styling tools such as the flat irons, the curlers, or even hair dryers that are concentrated in that crown section can cause those hair follicles to become inflamed and break down the structure of the hair, break down those protein bonds, and cause breakage and dryness in that crown area. So if you're someone who loves to use heat, try to minimize heat in that particular area. Y'all, the crown of our hair is the most sensitive part of the hair. It is the highest point of the hair, and gravity pulls everything down, so you don't get as much blood circulation to that area. So it can definitely cause damage to an area that already may be weakened due to natural factors. So you want to make sure that you minimize heat as often as possible, especially in that crown area. Reduce those blow dryers, try doing other protective styles, wear your hair in its natural state if possible to minimize breakage in those areas. And this goes right along with the next factor, and that is poor hair care practices. And I'm talking about rough handling with the hair, brushing or combing your hair when it's wet, ripping through the hair, putting hairstyles that are too tight, like a top knot bun, hair pulled back, braids that are too tight, wigs that don't sit well, weaves that are stitched in too tight. All those poor hair care practices over time can wear at the crown of our hair that is already very sensitive. So one of the things I found very helpful when I was suffering from my CCCA was actually sectioning my hair a little differently. I was so programmed to always sectioning my hair into 4, but when you do that, you actually cause a lot of tension as each quadrant pulls at the most sensitive and weakest part of the hair. So either adding a 5th or 6th section to the hair can help reduce some of that stress and tension in that crown area. And y'all, I found it has been absolutely amazing. Also, switching to finger detangling my hair outside of the shower before my hair is soaking, drenching wet has also proved to be very beneficial in helping me to retain length in that crown area and reduce that breakage. If you need some tips on how to finger detangle your hair dry versus finger detangle your hair wet, check out the videos on the screen right now. Another factor that can cause crown breakage is medical conditions. Certain medical conditions like alopecia areata, or even some skin disorders or skin conditions such as scalp psoriasis, scalp eczema. They cause really bad patchy sections that can completely lose all of the hair. Certain forms of dermatitis or severe inflammation in that area. So what you want to do, especially if you have certain skin issues like I have eczema, is really try to work on what's triggering that eczema. For me, sometimes it could be something as allergies or a change of season. I know that I'm allergic to certain plants and certain flowers that can aid in creating an environment where there's severe inflammation in that crown section of the hair, but not just the crown area, but any part of the hair that may be impacted. So you want to make sure you find out what you may be allergic to. If you're having alopecia areata, please go see your doctor. Again, this is like the underlying theme really is really finding out what's triggering those issues and trying to work on things that can improve and stop that. And if maybe you can't stop it, maybe we can slow down the breakage process by using all natural herbal remedies like I have on my channel. I'll link some here of some wonderful herbs that can use in the crown section of the hair, like your amla, your fenugreek, your neem, that really work with helping to strengthen those hair follicles in that area and regrow that hair. Unfortunately, when it comes to medical conditions, we also know that there are medications that can cause hair loss. So see if your doctor can switch you to something else if you're experiencing that hair breakage. And if not, again, please work and use some of those other external factors that we mentioned before, using those herbs, using those oils, giving yourself a nice massage to help increase that blood circulation to those hair follicles to help encourage that hair growth. Another factor may be environmental factors as the sun exposure, extreme temperatures, pollution. You know, you can experience severe UV damage in that area. Again, it is the highest point of the body. The sun beams down and gives the most UV damage to that section of the hair, which can trigger that. So make sure you cover your hair. You can use scarves, you can use hats, especially if you're going to be in the elements for an extended period of time, whether it be extreme heat or extreme cold. So another factor, you guys, could also be genetics. And I'm going to use this term just a little bit loosely here because a lot of times you'll see families that have mothers, daughters, brothers, uncles who all have that crown area, that CCCA. And some people say it's just genetics, it's just passed on. And some of that may be true, as your body may hold on to excess DHT in its system, and that can bind to the hair follicles to shrink them. But I always say sometimes it's not necessarily just genetics, but it could be also poor hair care practices passed down through generation. Also, some of our dietary choices that we're choosing that can also cause those hormonal imbalances, cause that rise in DHT. We know there are natural DHT blockers that you can take internally as well as use topically. I have a DHT blocking oil, but outside of that oil, there are a ton of herbs that block DHT and oils like your pumpkin seed oil, your saw palmetto, your fenugreek, your amla, different herbs that can be used to help treat that excess DHT. So yes, genetics may play a role, as in maybe your family history, your family has a history of it, but maybe you can also do external and internal factors that can help lower that genetic predisposition. Lastly, y'all, but not least, one of the biggest factors causing that crown breakage is lack of hydration and moisture in that crown area of the hair. A lot of times, a lot of naturals have expressed to me that they experience webbing in the crown section of the hair. And when I'm talking about webbing, I'm talking about hair that just kind of appears like this, and it always feels dry, and they say like, oh, I shampoo and condition the hair like I do the rest of my hair. But one thing I mentioned earlier, and I'm finding out a lot, is the crown section of the hair tends to be a different porosity, so it may need different things that the other portions of your hair may not need. It may need extra hydration, it may need extra moisture, and it may need extra protein. I'll actually link the video I just did last week that talks about the difference between hydration and moisture and how you can get that in your hair. But y'all, if your hair is suffering in that area, and you feel like you're doing all those factors right, you may need to be more attentive to that section of the hair, either moisturizing it more frequently or even doing protein treatments on that section of your hair more frequently to address those concerns. And again, I want to go over some of the solutions, and that was dividing your hair maybe into 5 quadrants instead of just 4, being gentle when it comes to handling your hair, finger detangling your hair, making sure you get enough hydration, moisture, and protein, having a well-balanced diet, making sure if you are deficient in vitamins, nutrients, or you have hormonal imbalances, you get them back balanced so that your hair can be thriving again. As always, speak with your doctor, have them run blood tests to find out what issues you may be suffering from if you ever experience any type of hair loss. Let me know down below if there are any factors that I might have missed, and share any solutions that you may have that help regrow your hair. But that's it for this week. I'll see you next time. Bye.